This is ABC and KTNV Las Vegas.
KTNV-TV Las Vegas. This is News 13 Late, Southern Nevada's only late-night hour of news. Good evening.
News 13 Early. Live with Steve Shore, Lynn Mathis, Matt Bailu, and Ron Futrell.
You'll love it on Channel 13. You'll love it, 13 territory. You'll love it.
Now, Steve Shore, Paula Dilworth, meteorologist Matt Bailu, and Ron Futrell with sports. Live, this is News 13.
This is Southern Nevada's most informative news team. Now, Steve Shore, Paula Dilworth, meteorologist Matt Bailu, and Ron Futrell with sports. Live, this is News 13.
Now, Marianne McClary, Brad Johansson, Nathan Tannenbaum with the weather, and Ron Futrell on sports. Live, this is Channel 13 News at 5:30.
This is KTNV 13. Now, Kyle Meenan, Marianne McClary, meteorologist Matt Bailu, and Stephen Jackson with sports. Live, this is Channel 13 News at 5:30.
You're watching Channel 13 News. Now, Marianne McClary, Brad Johansson, Nathan Tannenbaum with the weather, and Ron Futrell on sports. Live, this is Channel 13 News Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Marianne McClary.
And I'm Brad Johansson.
This is KTNV 13. Now, Kyle Meenan, Candace Armstrong, weather with John Potter, and Ron Futrell with sports. This is Channel 13 News Tonight.
The earth shook tonight in Boulder City and Henderson as a small quake hit southern Nevada.
Now, Channel 13 News, the 5:30 report with John Daly and Marianne McClary.
A controversy in the recording industry. A news conference at the Mirage may tell us if Milli Vanilli is stripped of their Grammy Award.
Live, this is News 13 inside Las Vegas with John Daly, Allison McCarthy, weather with Nathan Tannenbaum, and sports with Ron Futrell. It's 6 a.m. Time for Good Morning Las Vegas with Shannon Martindale, Doug Smith, and Cicely Tynan. Live, this is News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, May 5th.
This is News 13 at 6.
Rare artifacts taken from an archaeological site are back where they belong.
Also tonight, fire engines race to the Stratosphere Tower. But first, the doors to a new all-ages nightclub were supposed to open tonight, but that is not going to happen. Good evening, everybody.
Machines programmed to pay out more than 100%. What does that mean? We'll find out in part 2 of our special report, Programmed to Win.
The police take a crack at educating our youngsters in the debut of Cops and Kids. And only on Inside Las Vegas, a cab driver says he's lucky to be alive. Another possible act of violence on the Time Met picket line. But first...
You're watching Inside Las Vegas with John Daly, Allison McCarthy, sports with Ron Futrell, and weather with Nathan Tannenbaum.
From News 13 inside Las Vegas, this is News 13 at 5.
A rollover accident on US 95 kills a 15-year-old boy today.
From News 13 inside Las Vegas, this is News 13 at 6.
Racial values.
From News 13 inside Las Vegas, this is News 13 Tonight.
From News 13 inside Las Vegas, this is News 13 Tonight.
Bring your parents and yourself to the meeting if you want to stop Silverado from having 4,000 students and going on double session.
A high school announcement turns into a request to unite as students feel the pressure of overcrowding. A booming population and zoning changes often force students to attend different schools. Good evening, I'm Ken Hamilton.
And I'm Kim Sherwood.
11 minutes of non-stop news, weather, and sports begins now. From News 13 inside Las Vegas, this is News 13's 11 at 11.
Power for water sweeps away.
This is a special edition of News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Bags full of medications meant for Mountain View Hospital.
Good evening, I'm Ray Cortopassi.
Monday night quarterback kicks off now with Ron Futrell and Robin Burke.
Well, hi, everybody. Coming to you live from the Grand Canal Shops here at the Venetian Hotel. Tonight is going to be a fun Tuesday night edition of Monday Night Quarterback for you here with Robin Burke. I'm Ron Futrell.
From News 13 inside Las Vegas, this is Good Morning Las Vegas.
We'll have more on those stories and all the day's news just ahead. Welcome to Good Morning Las Vegas, everyone. I'm Jenna Anton.
And I'm Bob Jeswald.
Team Inside Las Vegas begins now.
Home safe. A Las Vegas boy is back with his father, saved from a man police say is a kidnapper.
The Aladdin rises again, now promising a big benefit for local shoppers.
It was to help these children, you know, and the battered women.
Metro expands its investigation into an accused Valley scam artist. And he is charged with stealing more than $45,000.
News 13 inside Las Vegas begins now.
Signed, sealed, delivered. The Florida votes are in and certified. But that does not mean we have a new president-elect.
This is a special report from News 13 inside Las Vegas.
The skyline of the Las Vegas Strip is about to change again. You're looking at a live picture from our News 13 Stratacam as we count down the final moments of the shuttered and shunned El Rancho Hotel.
Las Vegas 2000. Now, more non-stop coverage from News 13 inside Las Vegas.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's a countdown to the 21st century.
Now, with more complete coverage from across Southern Nevada and where you live, this is News 13 inside Las Vegas, live at midday.
Almost 2 months after the attacks of September 11th, the nation continues to step up its war on terrorism.
Now, with more complete coverage from across Southern Nevada to where you live, this is News 13 inside Las Vegas, live at 5.
We aren't the only ones trying to save on our power bills.
Now, with more complete coverage from across Southern Nevada to where you live, this is News 13 inside Las Vegas, live at 11.
This is the man busted for running a worldwide web of underage.
Now, with more complete coverage from across Southern Nevada and where you live, this is News 13 inside Las Vegas, live at 11.
The fear.
With more complete coverage as America fights back. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas, live at 11.
Fresh explosions rock Afghanistan's capital of Kabul after dawn, the latest in the U.S.-led bomb.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, Nathan Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Now, more complete coverage continues with Kathy Ray, Sean Boyd, Trisha Keene with Contact 13, Nathan Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, and Ron Futrell with sports. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas.
The Consumer Electronics Show is just about to begin.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, Nathan Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, Ron Futrell sports, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Well, it seems mammograms can make...
Now, with more complete coverage from across Southern Nevada to where you live. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas, live at 11.
I'm going to miss her more than anything in the world.
11 minutes of nonstop news begins now. It is 5 hours and counting. Hello, I'm Kathy Ray.
And I'm Ross Becker.
From across Southern Nevada to where you live, this is a special edition of News 13 inside Las Vegas.
A blood crisis in the valley. Doctors are canceling operations because the supply is critically low.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, Nathan Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas.
Welcome back.
Now, with more complete coverage, News 13 continues with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, Nathan Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, Ron Futrell sports, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13. This is News 13 inside Las Vegas. Now, 13 inside Las Vegas continues with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, Nate Tannenbaum with your complete forecast, Ron Futrell with sports, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13.
Close to 7,000.
Welcome back to 13 inside Las Vegas at 5 with Ross Becker and Kathy Ray.
Iraq has 2 more days to...
Welcome back to 13 inside Las Vegas at 11 with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13.
Rhode Island's governor says 93 of the 97 bodies...
Welcome back to 13 inside Las Vegas with Ross Becker, Kathy Ray, and Trisha Keene with Contact 13. Now, this special edition of 13 inside Las Vegas continues.
All right, what you're about to see...
And breaking news right now.
And football is over. It's time for Action News. Hi, I'm Trisha Keene.
And I'm Ross Becker.
Breaking news, solving problems. This is Channel 13 Action News, First at 4.
First at 4 on this Wednesday.
Breaking news, solving problems. This is Channel 13 Action News, live at 11.
Well,
you're watching Channel 13 Action News live at 11 with Trisha Keene and Steve Wolford. Plus, action weather with meteorologist Brian Schofield and breaking news from the Action News Hub. This is Channel 13 Action News with Kathy Ray, Ross Becker, Contact 13 with Trisha Keene, and the Channel 13 Action News Hub. Channel 13 Action News with Kathy Ray and Steve Wolford. Plus, action weather with meteorologist Brian Schofield and breaking news from the Action News Hub. Breaking news, solving problems in Southern Nevada. You're watching Channel 13 Action News Live.
And welcome back tonight.
Weather first. The time now is 11 o'clock, and we always update you right at the top of the
watching Channel 13 Action News first at 4 with Kathy Ray and Steve Wolford. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield and breaking news from the Action News Hawk. You're watching Channel 13 Action News live at 5 with Tricia Keene and Steve Wolford. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield and breaking news from the Action News Hawk.
You're watching Channel 13 Action News live at 5 with Tricia Keene and Steve Wolford. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield and breaking news from the Action News Hawk.
You're watching Channel 13 Action News with Ricky Cheese and Ron Futrell. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Mark Pfister and breaking news from the Action News Hawk.
You're watching Channel 13 Action News with Ricky Cheese and Ron Futrell. Plus, weather first with Mike Chalinas and breaking news from the Action News Hawk.
Watching Channel 13 Action News with Kathy Ray and Steve Wolford. Weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Plus, Action Sports with Doug Kazarian and breaking news from the Action News Hawk.
You're watching Channel 13 Action News with Christina Brown and Steve Wolford. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Amanda Sanchez. Action Sports with Brian Sellon and breaking news from the Action News Hawk.
Breaking news tonight, violence and even gunfire spill into the streets after a football game tonight.
We begin with two breaking stories this midday. First of all, a deal between the Culinary and Bartenders Union.
Weather first. I got Nina Raditich right off the screen trying to get her to do weather, but she's not going for it.
In the news live at 5, Action News has some surprise developments in the attempted murder case against Edward Halverson. Tonight, he's reached a plea agreement. Good evening. I'm Steve Wolford.
And I'm Tricia Keene.
Right now on Action News Live at 6, flames rage out of control in Los Angeles as wildfires consume everything in their path. Tonight, how long fire crews think this station fire is going to burn.
The swine flu is blamed on more deaths in southern Nevada as the federal government finishes fight back.
More people are without jobs, and health care for children is in big demand. What social services are saying about health care needs for local kids. Now let's send it over to Brian Schofield with a look at your hazy weather first.
You're watching Channel 13 Action News Early Edition in high definition with Ron Futrell. Weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas and breaking news from the Action News Hawk. This is Channel 13 Action News this morning in high definition with Casey Smith and Lisa Remillard. Weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas. Problem solver traffic with Kim Smith. And breaking news from the Action News Hall.
This is Channel 13 Action News this morning in high definition with Casey Smith and Lisa Remillard. Weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas. Problem solver traffic with Kim Smith. And breaking news with Captain Paul Hollenbeck in the Action News Hall.
This is Channel 13 Action News midday in high definition with Casey Smith and Tiffany Sargent. Weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas and breaking news from the Action News Hall. This is Channel 13 Action News in high definition with Casey Smith and Lisa Remillard. Weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas and breaking news from the Action News Hall. This is Channel 13 Action News in high definition with Steve Wolford and Tricia Keene. Weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield and breaking news from the Action News Hall.
This is Channel 13 Action News in high definition with Nina Raditich and Steve Wolford. Weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Action Sports with sports director Doug Kazarian. And breaking news from the Action News Hub. This is Channel 13 Action News in high definition with Steve Wolford and Tricia Keene. Weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Action Sports with sports director Doug Kazarian. And breaking news from the Action News Hub.
And now, Channel 13 Action News continues.
All right, we're going.
And weather first, the cold night already, 36 degrees.
Right now on Action News Live at midday, an explosion in Sandy Valley leaves a Metro police officer in critical condition.
Action News Live at 5 begins with some breaking news involving a shooting in the southwest part of the valley. Good evening.
It's Action News this morning with Casey Smith, Lisa Remillard. Weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas. And problem solver traffic with Kim Smith. Action News this morning with Tina Patel. And weather first with meteorologist Christian Boris.
It's a great day, so make it everything you want it to be. It's yours and it's mine. It's a great day to shine.
Welcome back to The Blend. Many celebrities are going.
Groundhog Day. We never have to worry about that little guy seeing his shadow here in Vegas.
This is Action News Midday with Lisa Remillard, Casey Smith, and weather first with meteorologist Mike Chalinas. Action News Midday continues.
Welcome back, everyone.
This is Channel 13 Action News live at 3 with Ricky Cheese. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. And now, Channel 13 Action News live at 3 continues.
A tragic scene in eastern India.
This is Action News live at 3:30 with Tricia Keene, Steve Wolford, and weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Action News live at 3:30 continues.
You've probably heard.
This is Channel 13 Action News live at 3:30 with Ricky Cheese, Steve Wolford, and weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Action News live at 5 with Tricia Keene, Steve Wolford, and weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. This is Action News live at 6 with Tricia Keene, Steve Wolford, and weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield.
On 13 Action News live at 11, new details after a crook steals a cop car. Tonight, why the officer opens fire. Plus, a recall on food you buy from Trader Joe's. Is it too dangerous to eat? And another weekend of wet weather in Las Vegas. Could we see more tomorrow? Rain, rain, and more rain. Throw in some hail and you pretty much have much of our day.
This is Channel 13 Action News live at 11 with Tricia Keene and Steve Wolford. Plus, weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Action News live at 11 with Tricia Keene, Steve Wolford, and weather first with meteorologist Brian Schofield. Action News live at 11 continues.
A somber day in Kansas.
13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas. Now, from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News live at midday.
Right now on 13 Action News Live at midday, questions continue surrounding a person's death.
Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News live at midday.
It's only 11 o'clock newscast. A deadly fire turns into a homicide.
Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News live at 3.
Right now on 13 Action News live at 3.
Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News live at 3:30.
Right now on 13 Action News live at 3:30, documents from President Trump's inaugural committee have been subpoenaed by investigators at the Justice Department.
13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas live at 5.
13 Action News begins with an update to breaking news.
13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas live at 6.
Tonight, police swarm a high-rise right near the Las Vegas Strip.
13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas live at 6:30.
Tonight,
Now, from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News live at 11.
13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas live at 11.
Smashed and wrecked cars. Residents stunned by the mysterious act. And
13 Action News live at 11. The big changes downtown that some locals say are cutting into their paychecks. This city is a hardened target.
how Metro is stepping up its game to protect families during a popular local festival. But first, new tonight, a man brutally attacked with chemicals at work sits down with 13 Action News for the first time. I'm Trisha Keene.
And I'm Ty Quinones.
Now, breaking news from 13 Action News.
Powerful 6.4.
13 Action News begins with breaking news.
What's happening right now?
13 Action News Live at 6 begins with breaking news. Metro is just now revealing some new details on a shootout involving one of its officers.
And we know a neighborhood, a church, and a nearby school were all put on lockdown.
13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Eviction protection new this morning. The bill passed late last night by lawmakers.
13 Action News, live at midday.
Right now in the Valley's only 11 o'clock newscast.
Now on 13 Action News, live at 3.
Hello and thank you for joining us here on TV, Roku, or wherever you're streaming us. I'm Nina Porciuncula. Today is a big day for the Valley and for Raider Nation. The Las Vegas Raiders home opener is tonight at
13 Action News, live at 5.
Right now at 5.
13 Action News, live at 6.
And happening right now, your phone could be a weapon against the coronavirus.
13 Action News, live at 11.
First tonight, that dangerous haze blanketing the valley. Thanks for joining us live on TV, Roku, or wherever you're streaming us tonight. I'm Jackie Kostek.
And I'm Ross DiMattei. Todd and Trisha have the day off today.
Inside the world, inside the nation, 13 inside Las Vegas.